Hello everybody, welcome to Let's Play Battletech. I'm your host Amulius. Last episode we finally got the Origo. I heard about the ship in the some of the dev streams, but I did not know that you got this ship as the reward for the second mission. Although I kinda expected that you would get like the option to get more mech bays, and well, lo and behold, we have found the way to get that. It's through the ship upgrades system. First, we actually got this one, which is needed to get the multiple bays upgraded. And then we can make further upgrades to the repair and refit areas, so that the refits happen faster. I've said all that. What I did in the 2 episodes ago, where I was basically just showing highlights of the missions that I was doing while leading up to the story mission, I kind of like that part, and I'm going to be doing that for at least this episode as well. I don't know, I'm going to be doing it in the future, but for now I thought that was a good idea to go, so I don't have to make tons of episodes where I'm doing only 1 or 2 missions each. So we got 4 mechs available. We got a Jäger mech, the Commando, a Shadowhawk, and a Ramboat, and we got ourselves a Vindicator. And we're gonna be starting out with this contract, and it's gonna be Choose Skulls. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Okay, small heads up. This is a pretty short mission. Oh shit, is that a Hunchy? Yeah, it is. Wait, what? So let's see what we're already facing. A Hunchback, a Wolverine, and 1, 2, 3, and I think 4 or 5 more targets. Yeah. True. But how does this work? Oh, fuck my reputation. This is gonna get all my entire fucking squad murdered. I mean, don't get me wrong, I want to fight, but not not on these terms.
Mission failed.
Yeah, fuck this shit. Seriously, fuck this. This is not worth losing my entire fucking squad. But considering the mission was for these people, I'm not too worried about taking a reputation hit. Yeah, fuck. Fuck you with your bad faith effort, seriously. Everything's still intact? Yep. Okay, so that was really not worth my fucking time. There's only a small problem though. There was another mission here, but it's even harder. So you know what? Yeah, I'm not even gonna fucking bother. I'm going to another planet.
Those upgrades you asked for are online, Commander.
take a bit, but we'll get it done.
Oh, what do we have here? Oh, nice. Ah, crap. Yay, morale decreased because I don't have a huge pile of cash to change something about it. Logic.
Job's done, Commander.
Got a new financial report
But
for you,
let's
Commander.
start with this one, paste them. And let's start with this one actually.
Lifebuoy watch and lifeboat crew to muster.
Actually need the money to not go bankrupt, so and we should be ready to go.
Men warriors, prepare for combat.
So this was a rather fun mission. We were playing an assassination on a lunar landscape. I was moving my guys up in a kind of conga line, and then these lights jumped at us, and I think they were reinforcements. Still, I hadn't seen the main target yet, but I decided, you know what, let's take care of the reinforcements first, so that once they're dealt with, we can focus on the priority target after that. So and already don't know if you guys saw that, but he was very slowly making its way towards us. Now, well, one of the lights decides to bail out because he doesn't like the attention I'm giving him, which allows me to focus down on his spider buddy, which also doesn't like the attention that I'm giving him, but you know, there's not really much of a choice for him. So let's take out the leg. Whoop, there we go. So at this point, this spider is pretty much done for. He's, yeah, if you see his internals, he's almost dead already. But he's not quite done yet, and there we go. Had to devote my entire lance to fire at him though. And that target is slowly moving its way up here. I was kind of worried what it exactly is, because I don't think I've ever seen such a slow target. But I kind of had my hands full, so I didn't really have time to, you know, consider what it was. Well, I still had to deal with these guys. But luckily, you know, lights go down fairly easily, especially if you're focusing them down with multiple mediums. I mean, I would prefer to still kill them at a faster pace, but I think I take like 2 turns to kill one. Oh wait, I think we got a first glimpse of the target. It was actually a tank. But I don't think at this rate I realized what kind of tank yet. So that's gonna come a little bit later. We're still focusing on taking down these pesky lights, and trying not to overheat too much, because the lunar landscape is very terrible for your heat, because your heat sinks are not that effective. And I was feeling it, so I had to resort to meleeing. And considering these enemies were lights, meleeing is a very valid option of still doing damage to them. But yeah, they refused to go down. Oh wait, there's the target. What? Right, so our target is a demolisher tank, a tank that has 2 AC-20s, and luckily he missed with both his shots, but that could have done some amazing damage. But right before I went like, what? I think it was the Panther, he def from above us and did some, well, pretty extensive damage actually. I'm not quite sure if he actually blew out a torso or not, but he did some good damage to us. Probably more than he could have done if he just, fired his gun and we take some hits from this thing. Yeah, we really don't want too much of that. Then they're both focusing on their BJ and he's going down. So Demo's back in the hospital. Yay! One of the positive things, well, for us, when they're down from aboving, is that they're, damaging their legs extensively. So that should allow us to quickly finish them off. For the time though, I'm focusing on I was focusing on the murder ball of death, because I do not want that thing focusing down. And speaking of the legs, there they go. And he's gonna back up again, and yep. And I think that was almost it. Yeah, there we go, there goes his center torso, and he's gone.
Mission successful.
Okay, I got the distinct feeling that intel on these missions is flawed.
Command interface initiated.
Oddly enough, I could get used to a place like this.
Command interface initiated.
Oddly enough, I could get used to a place like this.
This was quite an interesting mission because I had to do it twice. Because the first time I tried it, well, aside from the fact that I was getting murdered and probably lose the majority of my lands, the game actually crashed. So it didn't give me a chance to proceed or decide to load on it. The game decided for me. I mean, not that I was I really didn't mind. I have to say that, but yeah. On the other side, I do feel kind of bad because it gave me, well, some sort of knowledge about the geometry of the map at the very least. I mean, the enemies that I was facing were different from the first time over, but not that much. There was one medium mech and one light mech that were different, and the rest, everything was the same. However, I decided to revise my tactics by a great deal and take one different mech. I think I had the not quite sure what mech I had, but I didn't have the Centurion on the first run over, and I decided to take it out for a spin and see how much that sweet tanking capabilities worked out for me. I also kept my Jaeger mech at a great distance because first time over I made a pretty big mistake, and he was well, he wasn't up front, but he was close enough to the front that they just focused him down very fast. which basically meant that my heavy was useless. And the Jaeger mag doesn't have a great deal of armor, so it goes down pretty damn quickly if people start focusing it. So yeah, it did allow me to complete this mission a great deal more efficiently than I did the first time, but I did feel a little bit bad about it. I think the biggest thing that did make me succeed this time over was, well, two things. Mostly, well, the Shadowhawk and the Centurion were tanking the vast majority of enemy fire. So that meant that I was taking at a damage at a greatly reduced rate. And yeah, the first time over I was trying to rely on evasion, and that simply doesn't really work anymore at this point in the game. And second, I was focusing firing a lot more reliable. Gotta love all those random head hits, don't you? But yeah, this BJ is also, I think the only difference between the op for the first time over and the second time over is I didn't have a Griffin the first time over. I had a Hunchy, and one of the lights was a Locust. I think a Commando. It was Commando. And the Cyclone Red, everything was the same. And there goes another one down. You know, and if you look at the armor bar, it's really not budging. I do think Bulwark is a little bit too strong, but on the other hand, if you're constantly outnumbered in this manner, then oh, watch this! It is hilarious. No. Yes. And he's gone. Yep. Yeah, that's kind of hard to do when the first volley directed at your Jaeger blows out his side torso and takes half his weapons away. But yeah, Jaegers, I love them, but only when they're like sitting in the back and being ignored by the enemy, because if people focus fire them, they really go down so fast. But yeah, there's not much more to say really at this point in the game. It was really just a mop-up mission.
Mission successful.
Now, if anyone wonders, yes, I still feel dirty about this, and yes, I still took pretty hefty damage, considering I somewhat knew what was coming. But yeah.
Those upgrades you asked for are online, Commander.
I felt this was quite an interesting map, actually. And my idea was to set up on this hill over to the right, because you have some amazing field of view over there. But crap, we already found enemy contact. Okay, set up our people as best as we can, so we can move up on the hill next turn. But they were already moving in, so we didn't have too much time to respond. So we're moving the Centurion up to form his tank, so he can stand still next turn. And we were getting up on the hill with the rest of our guys. And hey, it's Hunchy. It's a 4P Hunchy, which is the energy above variant. But you know, let's see if we can't neuter him as fast as we can, shall we? So aiming at the right torso, and 7 of his 9 weapons are gone. Yeah. That's something that in that WO we kind of call hunch syndrome, when the vast majority of your weapons are located in a single site or so, or heck, you can even have it in an arm where most of your weapons are located in the same spot. But generally, it's a bad thing that you want to avoid. But considering with stock max, you really can't get around it. So Hunchy's already dead. He didn't really stand much of a chance. So backing up with the Jaeger and took another one out. As I said, I really like this mech when it's not getting shot at, because I really do like it when it's not getting shot at. And there's another Hunchy, holy shit. But yeah, the Centurion stayed in place, so it's not really took too much damage from it. And pivoting in a spot doesn't count as moving, so it's gonna keep that spot, and it turned its forward arc towards the Hunchback. We're jumping around with the rest of our squad while the Jaeger is still getting into position. And knocked down, holy crap. Now, so 2 things I really like about the Jaeger, aside from the fact that it has amazing range, pretty hefty damage, and the knockback, it's also that it's, I think, a pretty iconic mech in the MechWarrior franchise. So I never really got one in my career online, mostly because I'm a light and medium pilot. And while I like the idea behind it, it just had too many eggs in one basket, if you ask me. So yeah, that guy is taking a pounding, and this one is trying to get away, but we're not gonna suffer that. So we're focusing on this guy, and we actually took out the pilot, which, yeah, considering that most of the mech was still intact, was a pretty nice call. This guy is really taking a pounding, but he's still too much intact to kill reliably. I mean, I'm pouring every firepower that I can in him, but he's moving through woods, he's hunkering down, and he's very fast. But I think at this point we almost take him out. Oh, almost.
All weapons are go! Should have run when you had the chance. Waiting on you, Commander.
Now, this part was kind of hilarious, because the target was constantly sitting in this corner of the map, and I hadn't even seen it yet. And lo and behold, he's actually stuck in the wall. I mean, it's fine by me. It allowed me to first take care of his buddies. And honestly, it wouldn't have mattered too much if he if he walked wrong with his buddies, considering how fast we took him out. But yeah, it was kind of a turkey shoot, because the guy was stuck here, and he kept moving back and forth, I think, even while we were focusing down on him. And yeah, well, it's obviously a bug, but yeah, I do think that the mission would have been more enjoyable if he was actively joining in on the fight. But yeah, what can you do? The game is like, what, just over a week old. Stuff like this is bound to happen. Yeah, now he was. I got a prompt that he was trying to get out, so I was having none of it. Oh, I don't think so, buddy. I don't think so. Yeah, but the zombie centurion with 3 SRM4s is just so incredibly good. I mean, yeah, it's basically heat neutral. It can sacrifice both its arms and the right torso if it wants to, and not lose any of its firepower. And if you use bulwark with it, it's just so incredibly good. I'd almost say too good, but then again, I haven't even reached that many that far into the heavy mechs yet, so I've kind of been falling down on that statement.
Attempting physical attack. One less target.
Mission successful.
This mission was the last one that I was going to do before heading towards the campaign area, and it was also, I think it was only half a skull or one skull, so it was going to be well, most likely going to be exceedingly easy. Well, we were sent to destroy a base, and as you can see, I'm steadily advancing with my guys, trying to keep everyone somewhat close together. And considering movement through the woods is really damn slow if you don't got any jump yet. The Jaeger was in danger of falling behind, which is pretty much the main reason why I try to keep everyone near each other. You know, if the enemy had a few lights that would circle around or something like that and get some shots at him, yeah, he wouldn't be having a good day. Yeah, I was trying this fire starter out. I equipped him with 4 medium lasers and 4 small lasers. And not quite sure what I did with the rest, probably more heat sinks or more armor, I'm not quite sure what I did. But so far, I'm kinda undecided on it, because it has some... it has more firepower than the normal one. I obviously took out the flamers, because it only has small lasers now. So it gained in raw firepower, but it only has that full firepower once it is very close to the enemy. Oh, looky, reinforcement. But yeah, that said, I really love the idea behind it, and you're gonna see how good or poorly it performs. Yeah, these guys really don't stand a chance. They're basically reinforcing their base with a lance of lights. Well, we're 3 mediums and a heavy. Yeah, you know, even if they manage to take down one of us, which is really sad. Oh, check this. Instantly blew out one of its torsos. I love it. Admittedly, it was the side torso, not the center torso, but still, that's a pretty damn. Oh wait, I do got a light, obviously, with the fire starter. But yeah, I'd say I got a very good balanced lance, and all they got are lights. So not exactly a fair fight, but you know what, fair fights are for suckers. So I prefer these odds for myself, really. Yeah. Really. Oh, I'm just gonna achieve a double kill. Nice. And I actually really lucked out here that this dropship did not land right on top of my fire starter. I mean, look how close that was. I've heard people who lost an entire lance because this stupid ass dropship landed right on top of their entire team. But luckily it missed my my merry band of misfits, and they won't be dying from that, thankfully. And it's even more hilarious considering that's their, you know, the ship is coming to evac them. And you don't know where it's gonna land. Well, admittedly, the reinforcements landed there earlier, but I really don't think that means that the one that's coming to evac you is gonna drop in the same spot, because that, I don't know, it seems silly to me.
Mission successful.
a new financial report for you, Commander. We're nearly broke, Commander.
So we made it finally to this next priority mission, and it was one hell of a ride. Well, we mostly had ups, but there were a few downs. But then the game was like, you know what, you don't deserve this. I'm quitting myself. So I was like, sure, okay. And that first mission where there were like, yeah, 7 or 8 targets as well, and I was like, nope. But I read on the forums that it's intended that the intel was kind of screwed over, or screwed over, whatever. It's faulty at times, where the difficulty is actually higher than what's presented on the tin. Also, reinforcements is bugged and showing up at the same time. But yeah, next episode we're gonna be doing this priority mission. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. My name is Timulius, and I'll see you guys next time.